Yep, we are live on YouTube now. Okay, we are on YouTube now.
We'll get started, Vishnu?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, good morning, everyone. President, sir, you're there as well?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think thanks for joining in at a very short notice. We thought it would be useful to have a quick conversation with whoever can join in short notice. Now that all you know that, I think everyone knows that, we've been running a campaign which is directed and towards the upcoming assembly elections. And now with the dates having been announced, I think it becomes that much more real and critical to be able to direct our efforts as a federation of apartments and looking at the concerns, issues, and demands of apartment residents. I think it's relevant that we direct efforts to ensure that all of our members, residents, and the apartment resident in general are participative, involved, and are able to leverage the opportunity which the elections to be able to get focus, attention, and possibly sort of mileage on the issues that we always talk about. The overall campaign is designed and defined in that flavor. We'll talk about it a little bit more. But having said that, this conversation is also one to appeal to all members to join the campaign, to participate, encourage their residents to participate as much as possible, and ensure that come May 10th, which is a date which has been announced, we have a good participation from apartment residents, which is reflective of the interest and the political involvement that is being shown. Anyway, we'll have a little bit more discussion and detailing as we speak today. But having said that, sir, over to you if you want to, any opening thoughts you want to.
As it is, nothing, you have explained everything. The second meeting actually along with the people. I think they can update whatever they would like to from the regional basis. That they have contacted anybody has contacted them or they're organizing any meeting. For example, today I think Batrayanpura is organizing at 2 o'clock or so. That's what I read in the news. Any other area where there have been requests, we would like to know about it. Secondly, be impartial to any party for that matter. They want to get into the apartment, please allow them or organize a meeting, because we want to get our things done. We have already prepared a charter which has been given to on the political debate day to all the four parties, important parties. Anything else that is required, add on for the local area development. That is more important for you to take it up with the local leaders. Over to you, Vikram.
Thank you, sir. Vishnu, do you want to quickly brief today's agenda topics that you want to cover?
Yeah, sure. I think thanks a lot everyone for joining in on a short notice. So the agenda as listed in the thing is like, first we'll talk about what the EVM campaign is about. Briefly, Vikram touched upon it, and what are the important activities that are upcoming now, and how can we increase the member participation, and how can we make the campaign much more effective. And Vikram will present the apartment charter for those who have not seen or who have not come to the previous town hall. I think we'll quickly go through it for about 10-15 minutes. Then how do we engage with the parties and candidates and interactions and all those things? How can we take that forward, and how can we most importantly finish the last mile connectivity of getting the voter ID cards, because I think the deadline is going to be 10th April, and how can we get the maximum voting percentage from apartments. That's something that we need to strategize and think. I think just to before Vikram you take over for the apartment charter, I think I would like to summarize on at least 2-3 bullets of what exactly that we can do going forward. First thing, we have already done successfully some voter ID camps, and EVM Central Town Hall at Century Club was a great success. We had a good media coverage, and our efforts are recognized. In fact, the video that was circulated, even the Chief Election Commissioner of India also recognized that in Karnataka, RWS are taking initiative. That's referring to us, right? What is it that we can do right now is, next immediate step, do voter ID camps in your apartment, do a pulse check, encourage people. In our EVM website, we have all the information that is required, how to get a voter ID card done. Very simple, very easy. If there is any help needed, please reach out to Valli ma'am from Bellanur cluster. So, we can sort out any issues that are required, but it's a fairly simple process. And there are AEROs assigned for each zone. And that contact list is shared with Upender, I think, except 6-7 constituencies. All constituencies have an AERO. That is the person whom you just directly ring up. Ask if you have any issues with respect to receiving voter ID cards, delay in approvals, all, right? BLO details also published. That is step 1. We have short time, April 1st to April 10th, within 10 days, do a pulse check in your apartments, finish any registrations that are done. That is step 1. Step 2 is, most importantly, we already have some WhatsApp groups and where some activities going on is the constituency level town halls. We have identified, at least based on the forms previously circulated again, that whoever is going to run the constituency town halls, we identified, let's say, 6 constituencies that can have the constituency level town halls: BTM layout, Bangalore South, Mahadevpura, then which other things? Yelahanka, Rajarajeshwari Nagar, and one more I'm forgetting. Right. So anyways, we have the list, and 6 constituencies we are going to do town halls, and there are some subgroups and there are discussions going on. I hope by end of day today, we will have a date and time and venue for each of these constituency town halls. Of course, some parties have announced candidates, some parties are yet to announce candidates. There is an activity already going on to build a constituency profile, at least for these 6 constituencies, meaning demographics of the constituency, candidate profile, problems of the constituency, etc. So there is a document that's been prepared with the help of Citizen Matters, right? So they are of a great help for us, and they're helping us to do it in a very structured way, right? So the next immediate step is we have to promote, we have to get people to those physical meetings where all the party contesting candidates would be there, at least the top 3-4 party candidates would be there, right? So then we talk about the next phase of voter percentages and all that. Still time is there. So these are the critical activities that we need to do. Step 1, finish any voter ID registration that needs to be done. Step 2, be proactive and engage and try to do the, your constituency town hall successfully. And one more important step is don't be partisan. Be open your apartment gates to any political party. Just one simple fundamental thing you think of. If there is some State Bank of India want to come and set up a stall, you will allow. Cult Fit Gym wants to come and set up a stall in your apartment, you will allow. But what is it that, so fearful, or you want to stay away for a person who is probably going to rule you for 5 years, right? Be open, allow all party candidates. That's been a request even in EVM town hall from all party candidates. I think we have to big time change that perception and do, creative activities in all our clusters to encourage members to allow the politicians come in, present, let the people choose the best, right? So those are the quick things, Vikram. Over to you. Pradeep has raised his hand. Pradeep, please go ahead.
We'll come to I think we'll set aside enough time to just have an interaction and questions.
Okay.
Let's just cover.
I'll ask later whenever.
Yeah, Pradeep, if that is okay. I think just essential content will cover very quickly so that all of them are briefed with the information specifically. Thanks, Vishnu. I think what I'll do is that I'll quickly take the next 15 minutes to, can I share my screen? Is that okay?
Yep, you can, please.
Is it visible?
Yes.
Yeah. I think most of you know the context. I think both the President sir and Vishnu sort of gave the background towards why we are doing this. I thought it might be useful to put it in writing and say that, what is the purpose and importance of this campaign, why it is important for BAF, for apartment residents specifically. there's a context to why this is important. I think we are at a stage where we are, as apartment residents, we are, I mean, recognized as a reasonably large citizen population of Bangalore. Today, even political parties are starting to quote the percentage of population that lives in apartments. So recently, there was a couple of media articles as well. There was one of the political parties' activities that we attended, where the party president himself said that, they believe that 17 to 20% of the citizens of Bangalore are residents of Bangalore, are residents of apartments. So I think to be able to, and I mean, that has also been reflected with the growth of BAF last few years. If you look at the last 5 years as the assembly turn in 2018, I think the BAF membership was about 300, 350 apartments. Now we are close to about 1,200. It has reflected the growth of apartments. So I think the fact that apartment residents form a significant part of the citizen population of Bangalore is undisputed now, right? The question is whether there is genuine political legitimacy to these apartments residents as a community, which means when I say political legitimacy, are the issues, are the policies, are the laws, is the governance, are the civic agencies who all serve citizen interests, are the political parties, people in power, not in power. Is there a political legitimacy that they are able to provide to this large part of the population? Recognize that there are genuine issues, both historical as well as things which will come up, need to be addressed, and definitely the inputs of this large section of the population who not only reside, I mean, residential identity in apartments is one thing, but a large part of the population are also people who are significantly contributing to the development image and the global image of Bangalore. I think different industries, different parts, high amount of growth sectors are what people, all of us are part of, right? So I think the political legitimacy of this group is what is very important to establish. Not to become political, but I'm restating that, right? I think as citizens of this city, as a significant part of this city, the political legitimacy gives you a genuine right to then participate. One, demand action, and second is participate in the development of the city itself, right? We have now seen so many number of issues. For example, if you look at the flooding which happened in Mahadevpura a year back, which is fresh in memory, I think there's a genuine problem over there. There's a genuine issue of the design of the city, the urban design, the way infrastructure is developed, the way growth has happened. Of course, we have contributed to that, but to be able to have a direction of planning, implementation, execution, we need to be involved, right? And that is what I'm talking about, political legitimacy. Anyway, I think hence this election becomes very important for us to participate wholeheartedly, show the numbers, be there and make it count, which is why we named the campaign also saying that, every vote matters, to translate into the objective that, all members, residents, and the extended apartment resident community should be able to vote and assert that legitimacy, to be able to also then have a very strong leverage to engage with all stakeholders, administration, political, whoever it is, policymakers, etc. in the future. Of course, we have done that in the past, but I think there's a historic next step that we can take by asserting that legitimacy. That's the whole sort of purpose. I wanted to sort of restate that, which is why this effort is happening to create a sort of a groundswell of participation. Now, how does this translate into sort of key principles of what we have done, at least in the governing council and within the organizing team, to say that, when we designed this campaign, we said that, the top priority is that, let us bring all apartment resident concern historically, what we have seen, what we have seen going forward, etc. Can we consolidate those issues pertaining to apartment residents and bring the attention to those issues and concerns when there is an opportunity? Elections usually present a good opportunity. Everybody wants to come and talk to you, right? Which otherwise in usual, as I call it, peacetime, yeah, you have some attention, but you have to do a lot of effort to go chase everybody, bring the attention and then action to that. Elections is a good opportunity to say that, you know what, hey, these are our issues. We want this to be get done, and we will assert our political right if you are genuinely looking at our concerns specifically. So one, I think we have done a consolidation. We'll speak a little bit about the charter that we have presented. Hope many of you have seen it, but we'll quickly speak about it. Then second is, I think we need to engage. Vishnu mentioned this part. We need to engage with all stakeholders. We cannot keep a distance from, certain parties, candidates, etc. Doesn't work that way. At the end of the day, they are the ones who are policy makers. They are the ones who are overseeing and executing the administration of the city, which impacts us in a day-to-day life. So we have to engage with them. So this campaign will engage with all political parties, different candidates, the chief election, the election commission, BBMP, who are the administrative authority to run the elections, other NGOs and civil society organizations, which we are already collaborating with. They will come together to add more force as citizens to come together. Of course, the engagement with our members and in general, all apartment residents. So this campaign is sort of mixing all that. Next part is saying that, how are we able to then build a lot more awareness? Facilitate sharing of information, which is relevant for everybody to participate and make a very objective choice. At the end of the day, every person has their own opinion, their own right to exercise their franchise, which is undisputed. But at the same time, I think we believe that as apartment residents, if we create a lot of context towards our issues, our concerns, our demands, our requirements, and our own inputs to the city, right, that gives a better context to the person who's voting as well. So we want to be able to share as much information as possible, which helps them in that, which includes, obviously, if there are political outfits which are building specific agendas which covers our issues, then we welcome it, right? We look at that as a reflection of them responding to our outreach to say that, these issues matter. And it is already beginning to happen, right? We are seeing very apartment resident specific manifestos, plans, visions, etc. being constructed, which is a welcome start. And we expect that all parties will follow suit and have something or the other in their own manifestos, in their own Bangalore manifestos towards that. And of course, the final objective, which is the sort of North Star metric, right? We need to ensure and encourage people going out and voting in mass numbers. A conservative estimate of 20% of our city's population being resident of apartments translates to close to about 25 to 30 lakh people, 3 million people almost, who are residents of apartments. Of course, a good million or so are BF member residents themselves, right? So thinking of as much creative ways to create an atmosphere almost of celebration, right? To bring it out, to bring people out, to encourage people, create recognition mechanisms, to create on that day. And luckily, I think the voting day is a single day. It's on May 10th. It's in the middle of the week. There's a little bit of concern that, it's vacation and all that kind of stuff. But I think our appeal is that, we need to go past that, to go beyond that and say that this happens once in 5 years. So as much as possible, we should encourage our members and residents to be present in the city on that day and to ensure that a lot of voting happens. So this is broadly the, design principle that we are keeping in mind as and when this campaign is getting executed. Of course, a bunch of quick snapshots and activities which are happening. You would have all known that, we spoke a lot in the last month about the first part of this campaign being focused on voter registrations. It has happened through the last month, March. It is still going on. Now with the announcement of the election dates, there's an end cutoff date by when any fresh voter registrations can happen, and that is April 10th. That is 10 days before the last date for filing of nominations. So officially, the Election Commission has confirmed that, April 10th is the last date. There is enough information, content, support available to further facilitate new registrations. So my appeal to all members, member committees, management committees is that please check in your own communities if all are registered. If not, please seek the campaign team support. Valli ma'am, cluster secretary from Bellandur Gate, is leading that part. So she'll be happy and to support and guide any of them who wants to do voter registration camps You don't need to, most of it is now online. So there's a voter helpline app, so you don't need, but anyway, if you want to get your community together and run a camp where the voter helpline app is used to register any pending registrations, please feel free to reach out to us. Please note the last date, April 10th is the last date. We can't do before that. You all know that we started off the awareness part by running an all-party town hall, which happened on March 12th. It was very well received. We had all the four party sending senior representatives. We had Dr. Ashwath Narayan, the minister from the current outgoing government. We had Mr. Ramalinga Reddy, who's a 7-time MLA from Congress, from BTM layout. Mr. Tanveer Ahmed, who's the national spokesperson for Janata Dal Secular, and Mr. Prithvi Reddy, who is the state convener for Aam Aadmi Party. All of them arriving on time and spending 2.5 hours with us debating various issues. It's recorded. It's on BAF's YouTube channel. So please actively share this, because that conversation represents the commitment that all the parties are giving, that they hold apartment residents as an important part of Bangalore, and hence the issues that we have presented as being very important for them to follow through if they come to power, or if they don't come to power as well. As opposition, they will support to follow through on issues. So that video is there. We have presented the apartment residents charter to them, all the parties during that period of time, which they have accepted, including, I think, subsequent to that, the Congress party presented its own apartment resident vision plan, where a lot of the points that we have given has been included. And I believe that, I think BJP is also in the works to create a Bangalore manifesto, where they have taken our manifesto and they have said that they will include many of those critical topics into that. We are awaiting that to come. When that comes up, we'll also share that. Of course, the other parties also have committed that they are keen to support all those issues. We have now moved to the next part of the campaign, where we believe that our members, our clusters, need to engage very actively with the prospective candidates, parties. So it's not just about apartment issues overall at a high level, but a lot of these constituencies, a lot of you all in your clusters have specific issues, right, in your neighborhood. The Mahadevapura example that I gave you is an example because that is very specific to that area, right? The whole infrastructure, etc., the mess over there which caused that flooding, etc., is a very important issue to be taken up with candidates and lawmakers out there. So the next part of this, which is the greater part of April, as we head towards the election date, will be what we call as constituency level activities, right? Where our clusters, which is you all, need to be very involved to run and front end some of these activities, so that the candidates, the parties over there genuinely believe that, the apartment residents of that area are at the forefront of engaging with them and raising issues. Like Vishnu mentioned, some constituencies are already identified. I've put the list over here who have taken the lead. The cluster leaders of these constituencies these clusters are already in touch with the campaign team. So Mahadevapura, which is represented by Whitefield 1, Whitefield 2, Bellandur Gate clusters. Bomanhalli, which has a spread of HSR layout, Bannerghatta Road and JP Nagar clusters. Bangalore South / Anikal, which is a combination of Electronic City, Begur 1, Begur 2, and Bangalore South BAF clusters. BTM layout, which has a straight overlap with BTM layout cluster. Yelahanka / Byatrayanpura constituencies, which is spread across the BAF Yelahanka cluster. And RR Nagara constituency, which is spread across the RR Nagar cluster. I think there might be one or two more, if I'm not mistaken. Malleshwaram and that area are also planning. But at least in these 6 constituencies and these representative clusters, work is already going on. The first thing that they're doing is they're identifying a date and a venue for a constituency level town hall. The idea for that town hall is to invite candidates of that constituency from all parties and have an open conversation and a debate, which are issues pertaining to that area as well as apartments of that area, basically, right? So a lot of background work is happening. Expect the confirmations of these events to come very soon in the upcoming week. There are volunteers from each cluster who have come forward to join and participate in organizing these, etc. But we need many more volunteers. You would know that, between a few of us, it won't be possible to execute something like this at a scale. So we request as many volunteers from clusters to come forward, join the team and participate. I can guarantee you it is a exciting, fun exercise, interacting, doing all this kind of stuff. We have partnered also with Citizen Matters to do some bit of background work before this town hall events. So we are doing a mapping of the constituency. We are doing a mapping of all candidates, kind of a profiling exercise so that the information about the constituency and all the candidates is available and it can be sent to all members. And of course, the town hall itself will be an opportunity to come and interact. So once again, appeal to as many number of volunteers to join the team. You can write to Vishnu@baf.org.in. Anybody who's interested to participate, he can then coordinate, tagging you with the respective cluster teams to participate as well. Then coming to the part of the apartment residence charter itself, I'm not going to go into the detail of that. This document is available online. We have already shared it. Please go to baf.org.in/EVM 2023. That's the campaign site. Lot of useful content over there, which is helpful for you all to run both cluster level engagement activities as well as your specific apartment level engagement activities can be done. So a lot of content is out there. The charter is also shared and published there. I would sincerely request everybody to go through the charter once. It's not a very complicated document. I think it's about 7-8 pages where we just put about 7 sections with bullet points where we have said that these are the key categories of requirements and demands that we have, which is pertaining to apartment residents. The first category in this is property ownership and management. As you all know, a lot of challenges around KOA, KSRA, Cooperative Societies Act, RERA, etc. So there's a lot of confusion, unfortunately, even now, as far as both property ownership and its registration and in the absoluteness of owning your own unit of apartment as well as the undivided land is concerned. As well as there is a lot of lack of clarity in terms of managing the affairs of the association, right? How do you register bylaws, which law under comes? So that's a big category of push that we are doing, the top category of push that we are doing. So a bunch of inputs that we have given, which is a combination of a lot of things and detailing that the BAF team, GC team, the legal statutory team has put a lot of effort in the last couple of years, right, to map that challenges out. So we have crisply presented that. And it has already won a lot of recognition and support for the clarity that the BAF team has brought about in that space, right? So we are hoping that, this being the top category, which will definitely find solutions and answers very soon. But that's a section which is the first section which is presented in the charter itself. The second is on compliances. As you all know, there are multiple compliances which an apartment goes through. There's if people who are running STPs have to get a CFO, all apartments which are of certain height or more have to get a clearance certificate from the Fire and Emergency Services Department. Then there is the electrical inspectorate, which checks and audits all kinds of your electrical appliances. So a bunch of those kinds of things. So we put a section on making this and in a lot of these compliances, a big challenge is also the cost of compliance. The charges for CFO have become 5-6 times. The charges for clearance certificate, fire safety certificate has been suddenly changed from some 5,000 to 50,000, etc. Right? So there's a mentality that these compliances are used as money-making, revenue-generating exercises. Right? So we have strongly challenged that concept of compliances being complicated and compliances being money-making exercises. We have said that compliances should be simple, should be seamless, and should not be a revenue-generating exercise. It should have a very basic cost, which also encourages people to do that. And it should be very simple and easy for somebody to apply for compliances and get that. So that's one more section. We've spoken about public services, which is in terms of connectivity, last mile connectivity, public services being the common agencies that we deal with, which is water, electricity, and waste management, BBMP, BESCOM, BWSSB. A lot of ongoing issues, challenges which keep coming up, which you all know, many of you know. So we have consolidated that and said that, you have to make these civic service agencies, these public agencies, are service agencies, basically, right? They are not regulators. They are there for providing a service. They need to be made accountable, and they need to be made aware of quality of service, basically, right? Which we have come to expect of any other private service provider today. So there's a section which is talking about water, electricity, and waste management. Then environmental safeguards. We know that again, as far as waste, solid waste, liquid waste, etc. is concerned, there's so many environmental compliances which are coming together. Of course, our history with the case in NGT, the lake pollution, etc., is a background and precursor to that. But we have also demanded very strongly that the laws and policies around environmental safeguards, environmental policies, should become much more streamlined and easier for the residential community to align to. And a lot of historical problems where the environmental policies which are not very relevant to residential communities have been erroneously and intentionally put upon us should be removed. So there's a whole section talking about it. Then we also have 2 or 3 sections. We are going a little beyond the scope of the apartments ourselves, but also talking about our neighborhood, our city. So we have made some comments about urban planning, the planning of the city itself, public infrastructure like transport, last mile connectivity, efficiency. Then we have spoken about local governance and engagement. We have insisted that, you know, the last mile of governance, which is the ward, the corporator. We have not had a corporation for almost 3 years now. So we have said that, you know, any party or any government coming to the fore have to immediately conduct the BBMP elections and institutionalize the practice of ward committees, where RWS, it is enshrined that at least 2 ward RWS should participate, be members of the ward committee. We have strongly spoken about RWS and ward committees as being the local, the hyper local framework of governance oversight. We have also gone to the extent of talking about social welfare and support for people who are of lower economic strata, like domestic workers, our own employee staff which work in our communities, whether the government can facilitate a lot more social welfare and support through us, through the RWS, because we can be a good means towards that. So we have also pushed the boundary a little bit this time to talk about issues which are beyond our gate, our compound. We are talking about issues which impact us and impact the other citizens beyond the boundaries of an apartment, basically. So I would highly urge you all to go through the document. Please circulate the document also with your residents. It is important that everybody knows and understands that these are the issues that today we are grappling with. And this represents a distillation and consolidation of the issues that we have worked on. As BAF, we have worked on all these issues. There have been teams, the GC teams, EC teams, various track teams, which have been working and putting a lot of effort in building the background on this issue. So please do share to all the residents. It's important that, you know, when the residents and you all, the committee members, also engage with the candidates, it is important that, you know, we reflect upon these issues of apartment residents and we talk to them about that, so that more and more number of people talk about it. They will be aware that, you know, there's these issues that matter to all of us. So final step, I mean, we need to make this campaign really big. We have now, exactly today, we are at April 1st, All Fools Day, but let's at least be foolish enough to dream big on this campaign. I look at it that way. I think we have to be insanely foolish to mount this campaign and make sure that, you know, that our voice matter, every vote matters. So from BF's point of view, from the governing council's point of view, it is an extremely critical campaign. So I would like to take this opportunity to appeal to all of you to help make this campaign really big. From cluster leaders, the request, we have always been talking to you. You've been supportive enough to take this further ahead. Just to re-emphasize, please build a team of interested volunteers who can participate in this campaign. Work with the backend team to get these volunteers supported, integrated. Some of you are already doing it, but please take the leadership to organize constituency level activities. We will support in every manner possible because these constituency level activities will really represent the ground power of apartment resident community. For all the other member MCs, a few points of request. Please do disseminate campaign information to residents. A lot of times we see that, you know, in the BAF member network, a lot of interesting information, not just pertaining to this campaign, but a lot of campaigns, a lot of interesting work that BAF does. It does not reach the end resident, right? It just stops with the committee members. I don't know for what reason. A lot of times committee members don't forward disseminate that to residents. We in fact make it a point in every communication also to indicate whether this communication is relevant for residents or not, right? So please do share that communication. I think it is their right to know, is their right to participate, and hence the committees should facilitate and encourage that dissemination as well. So I once again, for this campaign as well, I know that in a lot of communities there is sensitivity towards politics, etc. Rest assured that the way we have designed this campaign, it is not political, it is not politically oriented towards any party or etc. It is oriented towards the elections itself as an important exercise. So please feel free to disseminate, and please do disseminate the information to all your residents. We will have a lot more participants. We need to create that groundswell. And like Sir said, and like Vishnu said, please, one of the constant complaints that we are always facing by parties, candidates, is that apartment residents don't let us come, don't let us meet. They just don't let us, right? Somebody made a comment in the all-party candidate saying that if don't hear us, at least see us, right? If we come to the gate, let us inside. It was very unfortunate that they are making that statement. So from BF, from the governing council points of view, I'm making a very humble appeal. Please, this next 1 month, I think there's an opportunity for us to interact, engage. While we are conducting some activities, etc., the real deal is where the candidates' parties are able to come to your doorstep. I mean, the conventional good old campaigning, right? And talk to residents. So please feel free to organize mini meetups and activities when candidates come to your communities. Please ask them the tough questions, ask them the hard questions. Ask them what they're going to do, how do they really recognize our issues or not, but please do engage, right? That is very important, right? Like I said, encourage your residents to participate in BAF campaign activities. Like I said, the next immediate activities which will be coming up are all constituency level town halls. Please share the information, let them come, let them join, let them meet the candidates there as well in one platform. It's a opportunity. All parties have committed to us that they will send candidates to those. They are waiting eagerly for us to confirm dates. So it's a fantastic opportunity for us to have one platform where all the candidates are able to come and have a very civil and professional debate. And it's an opportunity for us to interact with them, right? And of course, any member, any of our member representatives, if you are willing to volunteer, please nominate yourself as a volunteer. Please join the team. Like I said, it's quite interesting, exciting campaign. It gets us to interact with a lot of interesting people. Going forward, I think those representatives, volunteers can also take that relationship forward for their own support of the apartments, etc. So that's the facilitation that we are doing. But yeah, please do nominate yourself as a volunteer. Yeah, so I think this is what we wanted to communicate and share with all of you. And thanks for joining at a short notice. And I'll quickly now throw the Vishnu.
Before we go into quickly the questions, I'll just run through the guidelines that we are looking at, right, to host. Maybe I'll quickly go through that. Okay. So
you want me to unshare? Yeah. Okay.
Someone has to make me a host. Ajay.
Go ahead, Vishnu.
Okay, thanks. Quickly sharing my screen. Okay. So here we are. So quickly, yeah, as we already touched upon, these are the constituencies that we are looking at: Bangalore South, Mahadevapura, Rajarajeshwari Nagar, Bommanhalli, and Yelahanka. Only few candidates are announced. Congress in couple of constituencies, JDS in one, AAP in 3 constituencies, right? And we are expecting more and more candidates to be announced. And this covers quite a good number of clusters. You can see almost 13, 14 clusters of BAF are covered by these constituencies, and we need to look for good participation. There is already a team of people who are working on these. For example, there is a core team of organizers. Please feel free to join, even if you are not from the same zone. Maybe you can help them if you're in a neighboring zone or neighboring cluster as well, no problem. And we are also working on the constituency profiles. Now, coming to the guidelines of the event, just to reiterate, it should be, ideally hosted within the, larger BF apartments where at least 100, 150 people can sit in a clubhouse or a party hall, and ensure that there is good enough parking, and keep the format like, just either start right after breakfast, like 10 to 12:30 or 4 to 6:30, something like that, so that you don't have to take care of the lunch or dinner. But yeah, keep it at a reasonable cost for tea, snacks, and other things in a decent enough manner. And we are looking at expenses to be around maybe approximately 20,000. And whatever your expenses are, please share it with treasurer@bf.org.in, the receipts via email. Copy Vikram and me, and yeah, that will be taken care. And please ensure that all major party candidates are involved to give them an opportunity to interact. For any help, please reach out to me or Vikram. So I think from our side, we have an interface with each party. For example, Kiran is interfacing with the Congress, Pawan is interfacing with AAP, Zamir is interfacing with JDS, and Arun is interfacing with BJP, right? So instead of different cluster leaders reaching out to candidates individually, best thing is we are making a consolidated list, and let's route it to these four people: Arun, Kiran, Zamir, Pawan, right? So let's get that candidate confirmation once you identify the specific date. What is expected here is by end of day today, Bangalore South start of 9th, and maybe there may be 2 for Bangalore South, and Mahadevapura either 15th or 16th, and Bommanhalli say 23rd April. So we are yet to get the dates for Rajaraj Nagar and BTM and Yelahanka. So hope we get by end of day venue and time and date, right? So then once we have that, there is, let's say, yeah, please ensure that, I hope Sunday is also on call. So ensure that Citizen Matters is involved. And within that group, there is a WhatsApp group formed where there are, people from Citizen Matters as well. So they will help you with the many aspects. If you are doing a candidate profiling, they will give you a list of questions, what needs to be asked to a, candidate, and how do you build a constituency profile as a document. So that can be taken care. Involve your local citizen groups, like change makers of Kanakpura, Whitefield Rising, or whoever you think are significantly important and who will contribute positively. Please involve, and we will pass on the information to journalists as well. And please ensure that they are also taken care of. And there is a format to inform the local police station about the event. We will share that. Reach out to me or Vikram, and you can use that. And please inform Ajay or Upender for any of the logistics help, like, banners, standees, or any other things, like maybe taking help of KCB or Rama or someone else for at the venue or something like that. And most importantly, like, engage. Let's get maximum numbers there. At least let's fill the hall. Let's fill the ground or wherever we are doing the events, and let's show the power of the all important apartment waterways, which is very critical. That's all. Open to questions.
Pradeep, you had some query, right?
Yeah. In our own apartment in the past also, we have with a little bit of diffidence allowed political people to come in, but generally what tends to happen is there will be a lot of hangers on, all looking like thugs. That's the only concern that many people have. So we probably have to go over that. But we have tried to tell them that, look, can you restrict yourself to like 5 people and things like that? But there will at least be 12 hangers on.
Very well, valid point, Pradeep. I think what we could do is, I think if I understood correctly, I think Congress has been very conscious for that matter with the KPCC town hall they have done. I heard they have given explicit instructions to just keep the decorum right. Extremely executed very professionally. I think that's a very valid point. We can also pass it on to all political parties, just not to scare residents. So I think that's a very valid point. We can take care of that. Yeah.
I think from our side, we need to ensure that the committee is not unnecessarily too scared and kind of biased and all that. So that's
sorry, I have a question. What would be the scare about?
They are the feeling is that they don't want to be seen as providing opportunity to any one party.
Which is true, Pradeep, but I think that there is
in this case it is being because BAF has initiated that, and potentially all these 4 or more number of people can come and talk to us. So therefore, it need not be worrisome. But in the past, outside the BAF AGs, what has happened is like someone new, they came and spoke to us and we said, okay, why don't you? Then we did not know how to go and meet the other parties. So only that one party or two parties came and spoke to us. So that is a feeling that, we'll be singled out. They'll kind of create some nonsense for us, that kind.
No,
The others.
Pradeep, so can I make a quick comment on that, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, their looks and appearances, we can't do anything about it.
Yeah,
Right?
correct.
Sorry, it's outside the scope of this campaign. Two, yeah, we have received enthusiastic, in fact, over-enthusiastic interest from all political parties to engage, right? And we are saying that that's a fair enthusiasm. You have to come and meet, right? Which is the reason why we are making an appeal that, everybody. So it's a reasonable assumption that this time around, if in certain constituency or certain areas where apartments are more, right? If they are coming, all of them will be interested in coming, right? Different parties. And to a certain extent, we can facilitate that also. Whoever is interested to have interactions with candidates without seemingly appearing that only one party is come or not, I think can reach out to us. We can communicate to them saying that, hey, there is such and such apartment which is interested in meeting, right? So that will create that sense of genuine legitimacy, right? Over and above that, I think obviously people will land up, right? Come and want to speak. To that extent, I don't think so. People should be. What is appearing also from the other side, this is what we have consistently heard, that people are not just letting us in only, right? Now, the problem with that is that I think it is unfortunately and unnecessarily propagating a class bias. Okay. Now, which I'll tell you is a problem. That class bias then straight away goes into the kind of mindset and policy making which sits there, right? Like today, when you go and meet an IAS officer and he says that, hey, why are you worried about, removing a 250 rupees solid waste cess, management cess, when you can go and spend 3,000 rupees in a restaurant and not worry about it. That's the mindset, which is that class bias, which is going and sitting over there, right? 250 rupees or 2,500, it's mine. But people there are thinking, saying that, hey, these guys are, can fend for themselves. They don't interact, they don't engage. That is where the mindset will go. So my suggestion is for the next month, I know it will be tough, it will be short, but I think the committee members and the communities need to take a slightly more confident step on that. From BAF's point of view, I can guarantee you that, we have your back covered, right? Simply stated, right? We have been interacting with everybody, so there will not be any vilification or anything else, right? You don't need to worry about feeling that, there is a particular political associability. Yeah, whether there within the committee itself, there is some motivated interest to promote one versus the other, that we can't help, right? That also will exist.
We bring one quick analogy, Vikram. Imagine SBA comes and says that they want to set up a stall in your apartment. ICSA does not. Does it mean that you're taking side with SBA? No, they approach you.
No, Vishnu, Vikram, just to add to what Pradeep is saying, even we had a similar apprehension earlier. But now what we have done is we have opened it up for all the political parties to give us a couple of days notice. We put it on the notice board that they are coming, and we open up the community hall for them and tell residents, whoever wants to go meet them can come down and meet them. And we have a fairly sizable number who come down and listen to all the political parties. We normally don't encourage door-to-door meetings in the apartment.
Sure. Yeah, you can create your own framework of the program itself, right? At the end of the day, there is a possibility that each of you guys can have, like how in BF we have created a mechanism saying every vote matters and the campaign is interacting with everybody. Let the committee also say that, next 30 days, we will have a mechanism for facilitating interaction, right? Simple as that. That will make it objective. Okay, I think I've spoken. Go ahead, Srividya.
No, for the town hall,
Vikram.
so we are planning for all the candidates at the same stage, right?
That's our attempt.
Okay.
While we may not be able to 100% guarantee that all of the candidates will come, right? The ideal situation is where you have all parties sending all candidates, right? The most likely scenario is where there will be few candidates and maybe a few other representatives of the parties, right?
Okay. Okay.
Now, the worst case scenario is that where there'll be only one or two and rest don't even turn up, right?
You mean the rest parties, the
Yes,
remaining parties?
yeah, yeah. But what we are doing, I mean, that sheet which Vishnu showed, right? What we are planning to do is to open that up for all parties, right? We are saying that this is our schedule, this is our venue, this is our location, this is the contact people, this is the day for 2.5 hours where we will invite all our members to come.
Okay. Okay.
Right? Now you have this platform to it's you're creating a reverse competitive condition, right? You want to say that, you know what, you want to come and engage, you want to appeal, you want to talk to this electorate, come that day, right?
Okay.
Till now, I think all parties have very excited at that format.
Okay.
One, because this infrastructure of engagement we are creating, they don't have to, right?
Right.
All they have to do is to ensure that they are coming. So, but the coming days are very busy. They will all be with multiple other things. I'm reasonably confident that there will be representation from all parties.
Okay.
We'll ensure that.
So from our side, it's mainly the location and time, right? That's what you're looking
at. Yeah, absolutely. And of course, encouraging members to come.
Yeah, member participation. Yeah. And in today's paper, I mean, you also would have read that BJP is only going to announce on April 10th. So I think, all of us can have, I think we can only have it after that.
Yeah, what I heard from their team yesterday is that it might be 5th or 6th, basically.
Okay.
But 10th is what it is quoted as.
Time says that, they're doing some internal, election kind of a thing. And
I don't think it will be delayed so much because
but even if it is actually candidation announcement is delayed, that should not delay your town hall this thing, because the party leaders will come and explain their stand and manifestos. And anyway, that is a campaign. They won't keep it for the last day of this thing. So organizing town hall, you need not wait for the candidates announcement. In fact.
Okay.
But Srividya, already that list, that sheet is, I think, Vishnu, that sheet is visible to all others also, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I just share the link, anyone and everyone can add.
Yeah.
So non-editable, editable only to few people.
Keep an eye on it and please choose. We have what today is first Saturday, Sunday. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 weekends. Weekends. Even if you skip 8th, right? And if you take a 15 of post 10th, we have 15th, 22nd, 29th, plus 15th, 16th, 22nd, 23rd, 29th, 30th, right?
Okay.
My sense is I think 15th, 16th, 22nd, 23rd will be the maximum number of.
Will be okay. Good.
It will be good to have because it also then gives some time to then further. Yeah. So let's see. I mean, these are things which are not. I heard that it is 5th or 6th. I felt that it is still very late. 5th or 6th is still very late because it just gives them a little over a month to campaign. I don't know why they cut. But anyway, I mean, their internal strategies. Like somebody will represent surely, right? But take a that post.
Hello, Vishnu.
Yes, uncle.
Yeah, Vishnu, my point is we need to emphasize not only every vote, every candidate matters. Every voter matters, every candidate matters. Who we vote is absolutely left to the concerned. But we should make it a campaign. Every vote matters, every candidate matters. We don't know who is going to win. So in the process, let us keep everyone in our room and allow our clubhouse to open, let them address. It is for them to continue something. As a matter of fact, during the last assembly election, our BAP was not that strong, but I still remember our Nagaraja Rao and myself attended one of our meetings of the present MLA, and then Srinivas also we allowed to come and address the Flora, and we also met 1 or 2 people. So every candidate matters. That's what my point to emphasize.
The candidates may be interested more in big and major apartments because the population is high. I mean, that is the psychology of the candidate. Okay. Try to catch up those people and then try to organize it that way. Because there is lack of time, as Vikram said, hardly any time for them to, come and meet all the people. Just wanted to add a couple of points, Vikram.
Go ahead, sir.
The Chief Election Commissioner, as Vishnu mentioned, has also understood the importance of audibility now And he says that they are taking a lot of interest and they are motivating the people to vote. See, with all these things, and even the chief commissioner BBMP who took the meeting was expressing this, that dependent on the RWS to motivate them. With all these things, they are expecting that the percentage, which was about 50 to 55%, should go up. And they always say that the most intelligent Shia is in the apartments RWS, and they should be motivated to vote. So that we'll have to take that also into mind and see that more people vote. You can help the neighborhood whether they are members or not. You can also help the neighborhood as per voting. This thing is concerned. Any information. Today I saw in the message 25,000 voter IDs have been dispatched to Mahadevpura. This is a great achievement. Congrats to Valli, and let it repeat everywhere else, so that first this thing is they must have the voter ID. Then second thing is motivate them to vote. So you can, whatever initiatives that you would like to have inside the apartment, please do it. Thank you.
Okay, Kameshwar, you are trying to say something? If not, then any
actually today
put it in the chat, your
maybe you can type it in, Kameshwar. Any other questions left unanswered in the chat?
KR Puram, I think, has raised Sunil Thomas.
Yeah, a constituency like ours, KR Pura, have almost no competition. I think Vikram answered it. I think it still makes sense, Sunil, to organize and give a chance for sure, at least if there is no competition or deemed to be not having a competition. You never know, right? So, but it's good to conduct and involve people, because obviously the other candidates whom you think do not have a chance would definitely be craving to get some attention and reach out to people, right? I think it's still wise to do it, yeah. So at least, I mean, if you do that activity of constituency profile building, you will get to know all the issues that exist in the apartments. I mean, at least in that constituency, right? So any other questions?
Yes, Valli, I agree with you. The volunteers had to be congratulated. Let all the volunteers identified do the same work so that everybody gets the voter ID. Thank you.
Okay, if there are no other questions, I think, yeah, again, going back to simple things, maybe summarizing. Let's push forward with the all-party town halls, finish the voter ID cards, camps, etc. Allow candidates in, build that sustained enthusiasm within the clusters, engagements. Just keep doing these things, and yeah, let's make this campaign really successful. And once we are coming closer to the elections, we will talk about the voting percentages and other things, right? So yeah, that's all. Anything else? Final words from you, Vikram Nagaraj Rao, sir?
No, I think, Vishnu, there's one volunteer. Yeah, please, if you can. Rajarajeshwari Nagar, he wants to volunteer basically. But yeah, this is a good sign to end the meeting with.
Okay, can you please ping me your contact? I see it as Oppo CPH2363.
Yeah, please share your number.
Please share your contact.
Yeah, as he shares, I think, yeah, good discussion, debate. Let's keep the momentum going. Yeah, I think towards the later part.
Vikram, you will share the YouTube link, no? So I will post it to every MC in my cluster and talk to them personally also.
Yeah, I will request Ajay and Vishnu to share.
Okay, thank you.
Please don't make me responsible for those infrastructural activities. Meeting link and all is not me. I also didn't get a meeting link today at 10:30, so I'm as frustrated as you are.
No, I'm just telling generally.
Yeah, sure. No, I'm just joking. No, I mean, my apologies. I was a little seized off in the beginning, but yeah, everybody is putting a lot of effort. It's important that, we sustain this effort for the next 1 month. So please enjoy this weekend, watch some IPL matches, etc. The next few weekends, I think, we'll be very busy with the constituency, town halls, etc. Let's make it, I think, let's create a lot of buzz that is important, which is important to sustain the interest that everybody is showing. and it gives us a path forward to engage with them. So thank you all. Have a great weekend.
Chala cup namde.
Yes, see you.